Bacon.
How's that making your stomach feel right about now, kids? Now, see,
Little queasy.
you should be looking at the bacon as a way to help you through your Saturday morning hangover.
That's right.
Along with some coffee, some aspirin, and of course your Uncle Dave and your Uncle Kev on your favorite politically incorrect sports culture podcast commentary show. Try saying that 10 times fast. Sports Frenzy 2.0, the weekend edition.
Woohoo!
Here on July the 26th, 2025.
Under a pall.
Yes. Yeah, we alluded to this on the sports edition earlier in the week. But, of course, this is the more appropriate venue for us to discuss, especially since we always start off with music here on the weekend edition. Once again, your favorite politically incorrect pop culture podcast commentary. Right? There we go.
Yes.
Of course, we lost one of the greats in rock and roll this past week. Everybody knows it. Radio stations going a little nutsy cuckoo playing Ozzy and Black Sabbath nonstop. But a question that I kind of was going to pose to Dave here. I don't want to get too far in the weeds on this. Losing Ozzy Osbourne's big. But who among the surviving rock and roll stars that we know and love, I'm not trying to be ghoulish, but who would be a bigger death than Ozzy? Because Ozzy's big. Ozzy's huge. I would say McCartney.
I was just about to say Paul McCartney is going to be massive.
Jagger.
Yeah.
I don't know about Keith Richards. But, that's kind of a package deal.
Yeah.
And, of course, the front man always.
Yeah, and then Daltrey's getting up
Daltrey
there.
And Townsend. Yeah. Now, see, both of those two, to me, and I'm not trying to rationalize the importance of death, but whereas to me, even though I love the Stones, I love the Stones, Jagger is more important to the Stones. Richard has already made his deal with the devil.
Right.
I mean, we're all waiting for that shoe to drop. But with Townsend and Daltrey, those two,
they're kind of
equally are the Who.
Right, yeah.
Now, a lot of people are going to say that blasphemy. How can you not say that Keith Richards, the Glimmer Twins, how is he not equal to Jagger? I don't know. Just to me,
it's got that. I don't know. There does seem to be a different dynamic.
Yeah, I know that both pairs should technically be looked upon equally, internally amongst the group. There's something about the Keith Richards thing. I think we're just waiting for it to happen. It's long past due.
Yeah.
If Ozzy succumbs with the life that he led, and thank goodness he got that final performance.
Yeah. Good grief.
And you know what's going to happen next year, don't you? Because he didn't get in yet as a solo artist into the Rock Hall of Fame, did he? I don't think he did.
I don't know. If he didn't, then...
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he did get in recently. I'm not 100% sure on that. But if he didn't, he's going in next year. I think he might have.
I think he was.
Now, see, personally, let's change it up to personal. Anybody connected to Van Halen, that's going to kill me. David Lee Roth.
Yeah.
Alex Van Halen, Sammy Hagar, Michael Anthony. But I know those are more on a personal level for me.
Yeah. Ozzy got in 2024 solo.
Okay. Sorry, I couldn't remember for sure.
Yeah.
You never know with those nut fucks what they do anymore.
2006 with Sabbath and 2024 solo.
Okay. Well, at least it's not going to be one of those monumental clusterfucks where they waited too long.
Right.
So at least everything worked out with Ozzy, where he got in twice, as he should have. He got the final performance in. But yeah, comparing him again to Keith Richards. Yeah, Ozzy lived a very rough life, and he paid for it, obviously. But we just all kind of look at Keith Richards like, how has his bill not come due yet?
I know, you see all the memes of him from the 16, 17, 1800s.
Now, what about for you personally? Doesn't have to be. I think we've covered between the Who, the Stones, and now, sorry, Ringo, you don't cut it.
Yeah.
McCartney, yes.
I don't know. Seeger will be big, but he's been retired long enough.
Yeah.
Billy Gibbons.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, personally.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're just about to talk about the Billy Joel documentary. Billy Joel,
will, yeah.
but I think he's still got a ways to go. He seems like he's in pretty decent shape. I know he's got health issues, but I don't think it's anything life-threatening. He'll just have to take it easy in terms of live performances.
Yeah, because
if he goes back out on the road again.
Whatever.
Yeah. But, outside of that, I don't know. I don't know if there's many more out there that would have this kind of significant impact in terms of their passing. And I'm sure I'm forgetting a couple people. But no, I'm not counting Bob Dylan. I don't care about Bob Dylan. Yeah, they'll freak out when Bob Dylan dies. I know, but I'm sorry.
It doesn't
personally
mean anything.
Neil Young, don't care. Springsteen would be big.
Springsteen's
but
huge,
he's still a ways away.
Yeah,
he keeps himself in good shape. As Billy Joel saying, only the good die young. So Springsteen will last to 105. But yeah, we mourn the loss of Ozzy Osbourne.
The Prince of Darkness.
As you mentioned, he wasn't a bucket list guy for us.
No. That would have been nice to have seen him, but...
And I mentioned many times to you guys that from what I had heard and seen, he could be a little bit of a pain in the ass in concert, always screaming, "Stand up, clap your hands, stand up, clap your hands." I'm like, don't do that. Don't do it.
Don't tell the crowd what to do. We don't like it.
All right. So I guess for a few minutes, I just mentioned it. So we could have put this in TV and streaming, but we're kind of counting it more as music. The two-part Billy Joel documentary on HBO Max, and So It Goes. Part 1 is out. Part 2, as you're listening to this, will be out, but as we record, it is not out yet.
So part 1, almost 2.5 hours.
And that kind of threw me for a loop. And I'm sorry, but they did the same thing. HBO Max did the same thing with Pee Wee Herman. You can't edit this down. I'm not saying take out content, but I'm saying make it 4, 5, 6 episodes. Why do you have to make two
it's so
massive,
long. Yeah,
massive, like you said, 2.5 hours?
It's like an hour, doing out. Yeah, break it up a little bit better.
Yeah. And then you stretch it out longer, release an episode a week, and you keep people hooked.
Yeah.
But, yes, part 1 of And So It Goes covers...
the beginning through Glass Houses.
Yep. And it kind of does an interesting thing where it starts out with his early music career, then jumps back in time to his upbringing, and then comes back to as he's preparing to hit it big.
Yeah.
Where they talk about the commercial failures of Turnstiles and how he felt the pressure. He's got to put something big out And then, of course, that led to The Stranger. The fascinating thing to me was, I'm going to qualify this because everybody knows I'm a judgmental asshole.
I was going to say cynical bastard, but
Well, that works too. This part one is a lot about the love story between him and his first wife.
yes.
And how I did not realize the impact she had on his career from the business side.
Yeah, I didn't either. I didn't realize she was the manager and pulled everything together.
Right. And I'm still waiting for the other shoe to drop on that, because we all know he got screwed over by management at one point. So
and
they
I
kind
think
of alluded
to what's coming.
Right. But the part of it that, and I like Billy Joel. He seems like he's a pretty grounded, down-to-earth guy. But let's not look over the fact that he stole Elizabeth from his best friend.
Right. And it wasn't just an immediate thing, because he realized it, told him that he was in love with her, and left. Took them, both of them, out of the equation, because they had a kid together.
Right.
And Billy just walked and became depressed, despondent, tried to kill himself, and wound up reconnecting with her, what was it, like over a year later?
Yeah, and then we do get a lot of insight from what would become Billy Joel's stepson.
Yes, yeah.
And they interview his friend, and he seems like he's at peace with it now.
Yeah, he realized, as he said, they had gotten married really young and didn't know what they were doing. And she got pregnant, said, "You're marrying me," and that was it. And then life happens.
Yep. So it'll be interesting to see in part two. We know certain aspects. We know Christy Brinkley will come into the picture, and then the second half of his career, The Nylon Curtain and An Innocent Man and The Bridge and River of Dreams, and then the retirement.
Yeah.
And then the health issues. And his career, very few, again, we can pull the same thing with our discussion we just had about Ozzy. Very few musicians warrant hours and hours and hours of discussion in a documentary like this, and Billy Joel is one of the few. You mentioned the 2.5 hours of part one went by like it was nothing.
Yeah, they put it together and edited it beautifully, because it just flowed and told the story. You got him talking, his band, his ex-wife, former friend, and it was just very seamless the way it flowed. His sister.
Yes. Yep. When they're talking about the home life. Yeah. They did a good job with it. I'm not going to say it's the greatest thing I've ever seen yet. I want to see how part two plays out. But they do a good job of not getting... They give you the details you need without getting tawdry and without getting too far in the weeds on stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm enjoying it, of course. I thought it was going to be pretty much inevitable that I would enjoy it. I mean, they really would have had to fuck this up. Like they did with the Bon Jovi one.
It is Warner Brothers, so.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Bon Jovi was Disney, so yeah.
That should have been the first clue right there.
Yeah. But yeah, looking forward to watching part two, and by all accounts, unless something goes really wrong, we'll have a review of the whole documentary for you next week here on the weekend edition.
Yep, but so far, very good.
Yep. All right, so that leads us to our featured album review of the week.
Styx, Circling from Above.
Now, this is the brand new album where initial reports said it was going to be a concept album about birds and I think there was a collective eye roll from everybody,
It's like,
us
what?
included. And it turns out, no, it's not. That's not really true.
No, it's kind of going back to the 70s.
The 70s or early 80s,
Yeah.
because I'll tell you,
There's,
it has a feel in a lot of places like Paradise Theater.
yeah, and there's some things where it sounds like others.
Yeah, because I told, well, yeah, I told you, I read the review I read said that there are a lot of influences from classic rock artists of the 60s and 70s you can hear in this. Now, I didn't hear as many as the review said I should.
I've got two that really popped out to me.
I will say Queen
Yes.
and The Who.
I
The Who specifically on the second to last song, We Lost the Wheel Again. To me, that sounds like The Who.
you have, it sounds like The Who, but you got the opening riff from Billy Squier.
Oh, yeah, I see where you're going with that. Yeah. Yep. A little bit like Everybody Wants You.
Yes.
Yep.
So you had that intro riff, and then you definitely had the Who influence. But yeah, the Queen really came through on Everybody Raise a Glass.
Absolutely. And then you hear it again a little bit in the background in She Knows.
Yes.
Subtly, but it's there.
But it's, yeah.
But yeah, I did the Beatles. I didn't hear a lot of Beatles influence in here. I mean, when Styx was at their most grandiose, again with Paradise Theater, anytime an artist from 1970 on would try to do something with different instruments and get a little more, orchestral, everyone's, oh, that's the Beatles. No, it's not always the Beatles.
Not necessarily. Yes, they had some stuff in there with the strings, but...
Yeah, but again, I'm not attributing that to the Beatles,
No.
okay? Styx has always kind of had
They've
those flourishes and touches. And I do think this is definitely a throwback album for them, where I mentioned Paradise Theater. It almost seems like to me it could be the lost album between Paradise Theater and Kilroy was here. You know, when they were exploring bigger themes and playing around and trying a lot of different types of music.
Yeah.
Because
we talked about when we reviewed a bit ago Build and Destroy.
Right.
How that kind of had almost that Mr. Roboto type.
Yeah. I would even with that one go all the way back to maybe The Grand Illusion.
Yeah.
And you've got, let me just say this, and I'm not just ripping on Styx. I'm going to rip on every band. Very, very hard to pull off the musical interlude / intro piece, which we've got two of here. They're just wasting my time.
Yeah.
Okay? I know they're only a minute long,
but still,
2 minutes long, but I just don't like them. I don't need them on any album from anybody.
Yeah, circling from above to start out, we didn't really need.
No, and then Ease Your Mind leading into the things you said.
Yeah.
The things that you said. No, just give us the songs.
Yeah.
Just give us the songs.
Don't do this.
But I know this
like
is something
that.
Styx has done and a lot of other bands do. It's a little pretentious to me.
Yeah. Don't care who does it, don't like it.
Yeah. So other highlights on the album. Now, the more I listen to Build and Destroy, the more it just gets better and better. It's to me the strongest, definitely the strongest song on the album.
It is,
obviously
by far.
Deserving of being the first single. By the way, very interesting. They only released that as the only single.
Yeah, that was
They gave us one song and they said, that's it. Wait for the album. As opposed to the strategy we see from a lot of these other bands.
3, 4.
Or in the Black Mood's case, 6, 7.
Yeah, everything.
Michigan is really catchy. But I when I saw the title, I was like, what is this going to be about? And then, of course, it's one of those songs where they never mention the title in the
Right.
lyrics.
You just hear, it almost sounds like the downfall of the car industry.
Yeah, all around the world the wheels are turning.
Yeah.
Yep. Maybe you're reading into it appropriately. Maybe you're onto
Because to
something.
me, that sounded like, okay, they're taking on the social theme here of the once great car industry and everything kind of going away.
Yeah.
And 'cause they talk about the bleakness of things. So.
Mm-hmm. You might be onto something. I like that. Very keen analysis, Dave.
Thank you. I'm not just a pretty face.
I think we can all attest to that. And it takes one to know one, okay? It takes one to know one. Now, obviously, I thought The King of Love was great.
King of Love was very good.
Because that's your song, which they do every album going back all the way to the 70s, where James Young, JY, gets his vocals. And that's given us some classics,
We've
like
gotten
Miss
some good
America,
stuff. Yes.
Snowblind.
Yeah. King of Love, definitely.
Yeah, of
Forgive
course, Tommy,
was...
Tommy jumps in on that one a little bit.
Yeah.
Um,
Forgive was...
that was one of the weaker
that
ones.
Was, yeah.
Yeah, weak. That was weak. Blue-Eyed Raven's pretty cool for what it is.
I kind of like that one.
A little bit of Charlie Daniels fiddle in there.
Yeah. She Knows was all right.
Yeah. Then the things that you said is, if you listen to the lyrics, I think what the song is about is you need to check your anger.
Yes.
Because when you hear the constant chant of who will stop the maniac inside, I'm paraphrasing, but I'm close. It sounds like they're talking about you need to psychoanalyze yourself and realize you got anger issues and calm down.
Yeah.
Almost could be the angry young man, in a way, fooling yourself,
yes.
right? A very interesting song, very interesting. And I've already said I liked "We Lost the Wheel Again." It's a little goofy,
really good.
A little goofy,
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And then the last one, Only You Can Decide.
I wasn't a big fan of it. It seems kind of pedestrian.
Yeah,
a pedestrian closer. It seems like it ties in thematically to the things that you said, because then they're mentioning guns and they're mentioning, you have to decide your fate.
Yeah.
Whereas they were just talking a couple songs earlier about you have to temper your anger and calm down and focus on the positive. So those two seem to almost go hand in hand if it wasn't for We Lost the Wheel Again being pigeonholed between them.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting album. It is not boring. I will give it that.
No, it's not. It keeps you on your toes as you're listening to it. Because just when you think you get comfortable in one thing, it shifts. And
yeah, it is a constantly moving, shifting musical landscape. I will give them credit for that. Now, they haven't put out a ton of music in the last 30 years, but I would say this is probably the best I've heard them since Dennis DeYoung left the band. And that goes back quite a ways.
yeah.
I think Brave New World was the last one that he was on. I could be wrong, but I do have all the Styx albums, except for their early ones, like Equinox. I don't have that, but I will give Circling from Above a solid 3 Frenzies.
I'm borderline week 3, solid 3.
Yeah.
But
I think it's worth listening to.
yeah. It can be in the rotation.
Yeah, I don't think you're not getting standout radio-friendly singles from this like you did with Renegade, stuff like that.
There's nothing as solid that's going to be a hit.
Right. But the good thing is, without Dennis DeYoung involved, you're not getting the sappy, awful ballads either. Yeah. So with Tommy Shaw and James Young involved as the leaders now, they tend to stay away from that garbage, which is good.
Yeah, very good. So, a recommendation, kids.
Yep, check out Styx, Circling from Above. All right, let's do some news real quick, and then we will jump into television and streaming. Just a few things. If you are listening to this on the day of release, again, which would be July the 26th, you've got the rest of the day. I apologize. This is my bad. You got the rest of the day to enjoy the end of Shark Week on Discovery. Should have mentioned it last week. I apologize.
Should have. We spaced mentioning Shark Week.
Yeah.
And I know
It kind of fell in between, started on what, Sunday?
Yeah. It was the previous Thursday that I went through with Mrs. C, went through all the shows and decided which ones are we going to record. We don't record all of them because there were some awful sounding ones in there, like the starting off with Dancing with Sharks, because they have Tom Bergeron as your host this week. And we're like, no, not going to do that one. But I think a little over half the new shows we're taping to watch at our leisure.
Do they have a special celebrity host for the whole thing?
Yeah, Tom Bergeron from.
Oh, he's not just doing the one show; he's doing the whole week.
I think he was doing the whole week.
Okay, because they've had Cena do it in the past, and
Cena, Momoa, The Rock.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Last second deal was struck. A show that I should be watching, that I just gave up on years and years ago. South Park, at the last second, got a 5-year deal in place with Paramount.
They didn't kill Kenny.
5 years, I believe 50 new episodes. So you're going to get 5 more seasons. Now
we know why Stephen Colbert was canceled.
Oh, we'll get to that later. Trust me.
$1.5 billion deal.
There's not enough time in our normal podcast. It has to be a last call for that.
But with the money they shelled out for this.
Yep. And part of this was there was this big fight going on between Paramount and HBO Max actually had the rights to stream South Park. Because as streaming started to pick up steam, kids, your Uncle Kev's going to tell you a story now. These companies made these crazy deals. This is why Yellowstone, even though it's a Paramount show, is on Peacock. So South Park, a Paramount show, was on HBO Max. But now this new deal will bring it all under the Paramount umbrella. So South Park, all episodes will be on Paramount Plus, and it will now stay as well on Comedy Central. Interesting developments for Tracker.
Bum, bum, bum.
The cast turnover continues. Bobby, Velma, gone for season 3. Now, what I have read is that, of course, Rainey is still going to be there, and they're going to dive a little bit more into her life.
Yeah, but you need the constant person who sets up the jobs.
Well, maybe that's going to be her now, since she was working with Velma. What I read is they're going to try to bring in more of the characters from the first 2 seasons to fill in the gaps. They said they don't want it to get stale, and they don't want it to get in a rut, so they didn't want what you're saying, where it's just every week the same pattern. Velma calls, hey, we've got Coulter, we've got a case for you, and here's the reward. Okay, let me go check it out. They want to get away from that.
The formulaic
bit. Yeah. So his wife will continue to play an important part. Of course, she plays the other tracker, the other bounty hunter. So we'll see what they do with season 3. I have faith. My main concern, my major concern right now, what's the Alphabet Mafia going to do? Now you got no lesbians. What are you going to do now? You got no lesbians and you don't have a handicapped person either now.
Bum, bum.
I'm sorry, but these are the things you have to start looking at.
I know.
So now your checkbox quota is gone. Gone. Now is Renee going to switch sides?
But I liked Bobby.
Yeah, I'm sure there was something more going on behind the scenes.
Unless he's got some more health issues because he was in and out.
Yeah. But we'll see. We will see how this works out for Tracker. The only, in my humble opinion,
decent show on network.
Yeah. We have got a movie that possibly we are going to review here in the next couple of weeks. We're going to be a little casual about this one, but as you're listening to this right now, just dropped yesterday, July the 25th on Peacock, Wes Anderson's latest, The Phoenician Scheme, is a possible movie we'll be reviewing for you here soon.
Not a Wes Anderson fan. Most of his stuff is pretentious crap.
But every once in a while,
he throws something decent together.
Moonrise Kingdom was a great movie. But then I was the sucker that watched Asteroid City. That should have been an A24 movie. That's how bad it was.
Woof.
Couple of interesting Netflix live-action series in the works. One very cheesy. One could be very interesting. We're finally, it looks like, going to get a live-action Assassin's Creed series, as Netflix is proceeding with that. Of course, based on the very popular video game series.
Yep.
And then, live-action, again, both with Netflix. Live-action Captain Planet.
Oh, God.
You remember Captain Planet?
Thanks for bringing that back into my mind.
That's when we started to go
That
woke.
was the stupidest fucking show ever.
Wasn't that Ted Turner's big idea?
Yeah.
The environmental hero?
Yeah. We must recycle.
I know you're going to be all over that one, Dave.
God. Puke.
And finally, before we move on to our weekly TV and streaming recap, a couple interesting, because we're all about the rumors and the speculation, couple of interesting reboots coming from Hollywood. United Artists, which was recently resuscitated. I believe it's now under the Amazon MGM umbrella. Used to be a very, very big studio.
It was, and they put out some good stuff.
They've got the original, I believe, the original screenwriter, Joe Esterhaus. They're going to reboot Basic Instinct.
Oh, God.
How can you can't do that in this day and age. Intimacy coordinators and all that stuff.
God,
Hashtag
no.
Me Too. You can't get any better than the original. You can't.
Just don't.
What do you want to bet it goes full woke? Full woke. That's all I'm not going any further than that. You speculate on your own, kids, of what I mean by that. But I think you can guess.
God, no. Just no.
And then a guy who's pretty creative. I think he's a little hit and miss. Of course, I loved What We Do in the Shadows. Wasn't a big fan of his work with the Thor movies, though. And that would be Taika Waititi. Taika Waititi. Third time's the charm, I guess, for this one. If he can pull it off, he is set to direct a new Judge Dredd movie. First one was a little bad. Second one was awesome. With Carl Urban.
That was much better.
Yeah, Stallone with the I am the law.
This is a little 80s cheese.
Yeah, a little cringy. All right. Our usual TV and streaming countdown. Some of the shows that I think we've put on the back burner are Nautilus.
The sub is phenomenal. It's gorgeous. The cast, not a lot of charisma amongst them.
I agree. I've still got on hold season 3 of Squid Game.
Haven't started season 2 yet.
And I am going to start digging into Star Trek Strange New Worlds season 3, which just started here within the last week or so on Paramount Plus.
Got to get back into Department Q.
I, of course, am watching. Now, these are the shows that I actually did catch up on last week. I have watched. I am caught up. I did watch. Oh, my God. I did watch episode 3 of season 17 of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. What a freaking bizarro episode. I believe the title of it was Mac and Dennis Become EMTs.
Oh, God.
But the whole premise of, they were trying to make fun. Charlie was running a food service out of his apartment. So they were trying to make fun of the bear, you know.
Yeah.
The way he and DeVito were acting and interacting. But the whole thing was revolving around hot peppers, ghost peppers, Carolina Reapers, and them acting like they were drugs. They're all carrying around little packets of hot peppers. Dude, you got a microdose. You don't take a full pepper. Little tiny bite. Microdose. It's just freaking weird.
God.
But of course, I would expect nothing less from them. Then, of course, we had Resident Alien, episode 7 of season 4.
Yep, daddy issues. Oh,
It's been a great year. It's been a great season for Resident Alien. Thank God.
And it continues on.
Yep. They do have the occasional serious issue this year, but it's not like they're getting bogged down with it like this season 2.
Yeah,
season 2 was just
they got away from the base storyline and the humor involved. They got away from themselves.
Yep.
And they are back with this season.
I'm caught up.
Placentia.
Yeah. Oh my God. Then I am caught up on Countdown on Amazon Prime. I'm through, well, I know there's 7 episodes out, but as we're recording, the 7th dropped today. So I'm through the first 6.
Yep.
This is going to be on for a while because they're dropping 1 a week now, and I looked, there's 13 episodes. So
all right,
we're still looking at
up on
almost
that.
2 months before it wraps up.
And I'm through episode 4 of season 1 of Ballard.
Oh, okay.
Prime.
How is it?
It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's enough that they've pulled out of the books, but they're keeping it fresh. So, not bad.
Good. Now, all that leads us into our featured review this week. Season 2 of Poker Face. Of course, starring Natasha Lyonne as Charlie Cale, the human lie detector, or as she would call herself, bullshit detector.
Yeah.
Now, it has not been renewed for season 3 yet. So we will see. I would imagine, given Ryan Johnson is next to Taylor Sheridan, can pretty much do whatever he wants, and they're going to say, yes, go ahead.
Although,
the ending,
with the ending,
I got to tell you something. Let's see if you and I can discuss this, since we watched it, but we don't want to spoil it yet for the kids. I liked how they had the false ending.
Yes.
Because I thought initially, when I saw the to be continued, I was
They're
like, oh my
oh,
God.
talk about a cliffhanger.
Yeah, we're definitely going to have a season 3. You can't leave us like this.
Yeah.
And
Then you got your
all
little commercial break,
Yep.
and then it comes
And then
back.
the show magically rewinds, and we get another bonus 5 minutes to resolve some issues, maybe not,
Potentially.
and maybe causing more problems for Charlie. So there's definitely loose threads, loose plot lines hanging there, dangling, that need to be explored in season 3. I don't know if it was canceled. Again, I don't think it will be.
If it was,
It wouldn't kill me.
wouldn't be the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, I think because they
wasn't-
did that little 5-minute, epilogue kind of ending. If they'd stopped it where they looked like they were going to, I'd have been
You
pissed.
had to have a season 3.
Yeah.
Now, if they don't renew it, I'm fine. It was. I don't know how much further you can carry a particular storyline with it.
Yeah, and I know this is going to sound like an odd comparison, but it almost reminds me of the X-Files, in that the standalone episodes are very good, sometimes great, where she's just dropped into a situation and she ends up having to solve a murder. I don't know if I liked what they did here over the last 3 or 4 episodes. And the thing that bothered me about the final episode, and I know you warned me because you watched it, you finished it up before I did, and you warned me and said, keep in mind that the last 2 episodes are basically part 1, part 2 of the same story.
Right.
And I'm glad you told me that. But there was a point in the final episode, 12 episodes, I believe, right?
Yeah.
So episode 12, there was a point where I was getting really pissed off. And I was like, this makes no sense to me whatsoever. And then they had to go through this detailed explanation and flashbacks of how this master plot came to fruition. And a lot of it I'm looking at like, oh my God, are you really kidding me?
You actually are pulling this
It seemed like there was a lot of stuff that stretched.
There was a lot
reality.
of stretching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because from what we saw initially, a couple episodes or an episode previously, and then to make some of the leaps that they're expecting us to explain it away and how it turned out.
It was very weak the way they tried to pull that off.
Yeah. I came into this. See, you're just such a downer, Dave. I came into this wanting to be positive. I was the one early on in season 2
that poo-pooed it.
I was saying, I don't know. Charlie's starting to wear on me, And I was kind of geeked leading into the final episode or 2. The fitness place murder was cool.
Yeah.
That episode. Now I look back at it and not so much now knowing what I know. Yeah. But how she gets into her apartment in New York and then she's immediately dropped in to the Aquafina murder mystery, and that was pretty good. Although I thought the end of that was a little bit of a stretch too.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing, is they've gotten away from the whole homage to the Columbo show and the Sunday night murder mystery.
Yeah, they're trying to get too cutesy right now.
Yeah. And again, I'm trying to tiptoe around this so I don't spoil anything
major
for those of you people.
Tail end plot line.
Yeah, and there's other things that I'll discuss with Dave off mic that I had problems with, but then I'd be going too far down in the rabbit hole to spoil things for you kids. I still like the show.
Yes, I love the premise. I love the first half is what's happening, leading to the murder. And then the second half, you see how Charlie is actually involved in the background and pulls it all together.
Yeah. And like I said, that's why I made that goofy comparison to the X-Files, is that the standalone episodes in the X-Files were always tons better than the Black Oil, the continuing storyline
the Smoking
stuff.
Man, the
Yeah.
crap like that.
And I think that can be said for Poker Face, too. I was actually ecstatic when they finally got her out from under the mob chasing her. And I was like, now she can just fall into these cases wherever she's going, wherever she might wander, right?
Yeah.
And now they've started another one.
You have to do. It's like, come on.
So now we're back again. It's like the X-Files. Now we're on the Black Oil again, you know. And that, I want the standalones. The standalones work better for me than these continuing storylines.
Yeah.
Like you said, Charlie's on the run again. Okay. Now I will tell you this. Again, I don't want to spoil anything, but Natasha Lyonne broke my heart at the end of episode 12. I thought that was some pretty impressive acting.
Yeah, she did a hell of a job with that.
Where it was basically, oh shit, now I got to start this all over again, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And you could tell how it was just eating her up inside. I'll give her credit. That was a great moment.
Yeah.
Where she really sold it. That part of what they did I liked. And then who she was interacting with and how
that whole dynamic.
Yeah. But yeah, the other part of it, you know.
It's like, come on.
Yeah. I will give Poker Face 3 frenzies.
Yeah,
That's about where I am. 3 normally to me is recommended. It's watchable. Yep. It's got great moments. Creativity is above average.
The creativity is very good.
Right. I just think it could be a little bit better and a little bit tighter.
Yes.
In its execution.
Yeah. Yeah, there are pieces where it's like, really? You just threw that together? You really expect us to believe that piece?
And see, that's the problem I had with the final couple episodes.
Yeah.
So, but again, overall, definitely one of the best shows out there. There's a lot of crap out there. We try to sift it, weed it out for you. So
this one is worth watching, kids.
Yeah, you could do a lot worse than Poker Face.
Yeah.
Of course, on Peacock, and once again, awaiting news on a season 3 renewal. All right, real quick, movie trailers.
Lots of movie trailers.
Most of them. I'll tell you the one that impressed me. Now, all right, let's start off Predator Badlands. The new trailer for Predator Badlands.
You mean the new Buddy adventure?
Yeah, yeah. I keep forgetting with Predator Badlands, because I know when I saw the first trailer, I mentioned I didn't like all the special effects and all the creatures and everything, and you know, it's too much for me. I don't like that crap. That's what ruined Avengers for me, was the last half an hour was like a Transformers movie. But I keep forgetting the blatant connection between this movie, Predator Badlands, and the alien mythology with the Weyland-Yutani.
Oh, yeah.
As you mentioned, the buddies. So there's a definite direct connection in this movie, even though it's called Predator. There's a definite connection to the alien mythology as well. So that I find a little interesting. I still think it's way too FX heavy, though. Then, of course, we have the latest trailer for Alien Earth coming soon to FX.
Yep. That looks intriguing.
I'll watch it. I don't need a trailer. Just start it. Just
get
start it. All right. Timothy Oliphant with his shock of, what's he trying to be, Doc Brown?
Probably.
Well, if we go back in the DeLorean, we can maybe go back to a time when the aliens didn't land on Earth.
Yeah, probably not.
And I could play guitar at the prom.
Oh.
All right.
Tron, Ares.
See,
like,
now that's
why?
the one. I'll tell you what. That's the one that I found the most intriguing. I don't know why, but
I didn't like the original. I didn't bother with the second. Why are you shoving a third one?
Something about it just appealed to me. I don't know what it was. But this looked I don't know. Now, see, I'd have to go back and watch the first two. I haven't watched them.
I didn't watch the second one. The first one, I remember watching, I'm like, don't care.
So, maybe that'll happen. I'll go back and watch the first, and I'll go, this wasn't any good, so why bother? And of course, we all know the big thing is Jeff Bridges.
Has to be in it again.
Yeah. Now, I know you and I are going to have vastly different opinions on this, but Mortal Kombat 2. See, I didn't like the first one.
I know you don't care for it. I don't mind it.
I just don't want non-stop fighting scenes. There's no story here.
That's the whole point.
This looks like a video game. Literally looks like a video game.
Yeah, that's what it's supposed to be.
Then why not just play the video game? Why do you need a movie?
Because it's more fun this way.
The only thing that's cool about it is Carl Urban is Johnny Cage. That's it. That's it. That's it.
Yeah. Nick and I are going.
Oh,
Maybe Connor.
I figured. The last one I have, I don't know if you saw this one. Well, I actually have two. Sorry. Did you see the teaser for Keeper?
I did.
That is the third movie from Osgood Perkins, who did Longlegs and then did The Monkey. I don't know what to make of this. It's weird. A bunch of different women look somehow connected.
I think there's...
But different, looks like different time frames, different races, completely different women.
I've got my theory on what it is.
Yeah. And I've watched his first two movies, I've reviewed them, you haven't. I think The Monkey is due on Hulu next month, if you still have it.
I think we may still have it for that.
And I thought The Monkey was okay for what it was.
Yeah.
Longlegs I wasn't a big fan of. Perkins is a very odd director, I'll say that. So, we'll see what happens with Keeper.
Yeah. Did you see After the Hunt with Julia Roberts?
I have no desire to see that.
That looks so lame and dumb.
I heard about the premise and I said I don't even want it.
Don't even watch the trailer.
Yeah.
I know
it's a hashtag Me Too type. Yeah. It's Oscar bait is what it is.
That's
it's
exactly what it is. Now the one, Red Sonja.
Oh, I didn't see the trailer for that. I saw the poster. I saw the movie poster. I didn't see the trailer.
Yes, you gotta check out the trailer.
Movie poster looked good. All right, thank you, because that did not pop up for me on YouTube. Usually they'll show the.
Yeah, I did. I got the IMDb. I went to IMDb and was looking at trailers, and that was one of the ones they had.
Oh, maybe I need to go there then instead of YouTube. Okay. Did you see? This wasn't a trailer, but did you see the public service announcement that Liam Neeson did?
No.
I cannot tell if it's serious or not. It's not really.
Is it trying to lead into Naked Gun?
Yes and no. Yeah. And it's half serious, half humorous. He's basically sitting there trying to, again, technically promoting the Naked Gun, but he's doing a PSA for how we need to save raunchy comedies. And then And then they're showing clips from all these great raunchy comedies. Well, not even raunchy, like Black Sheep and Ferris Bueller, and and he's rattling off stats about, we haven't had a really good raunchy comedy in 4.5 years or something like that, and it's just serious enough where I'm like,
he's right.
yeah, is this serious? Because there's a hashtag, there's a website to go to, savecomedynow.org or something like that. But then, of course, he's sitting there at the end, and he stops talking, and they stop showing clips, and he stares at the camera, and then he lets a big fart go.
And that's what you want.
Yeah. All right. So that will lead us into our featured movie review of the week, which is The Amateur. It is on Hulu right now. Of course, it was in theaters 2-3 months ago.
Yep. Rami Malek.
I was really looking forward to this movie. Very disappointed. Very disappointed. It had a few moments, but otherwise...
You had to suspend disbelief so much with
Yes.
different things on this. It
Yes.
drove me up the fucking wall.
Yes, and yes. The writing was bad. Yeah, there's so many gaping holes and things. His equipment appears and disappears.
Explained.
Yes. What was the point of John Bernthal's character? There's no point to him.
There was no point at all.
Really, there was very little point to Fishburne either. He was
more set early on for the training.
Yeah.
The end, I was like, really?
Yeah.
What? Unless there was more to him in the movie after the one point of helping him out more that they edited out is the only thing I can think of.
But yeah, you're right. There's so much stuff that
it seems
that
like they edited out a lot that would have explained and told the story in a more cohesive manner.
You know what? I gotta believe you're right. I'm not blaming Rami Malek. He did the best he could, but it's not his fault that, like you said, there's these jumps in logic and in plot that I'm sitting there going, how did that happen? Now we've all, and this is one of those movies where obviously they spoiled the best moment in the trailer with the pool,
right?
The suspended pool between the two buildings, and then there's one other scene in a hospital before that's pretty cool.
That was.
But other than that, I thought the rest of it was a complete generic waste with a lot of bad writing throughout.
Yeah, there were some entertaining pieces,
but not many.
Too many plot holes.
Yeah, and we again don't want to spoil anything for you. We have a little bit more of a longer range for spoilers than most people do.
Yes.
Usually now that it's on streaming, another 2-3 weeks, then you can start talking about the plot as a whole, and at that point you just say, hey, you've had chances to watch it. That's your problem, not mine. But I was so disappointed in this. I give it a weak 2 frenzies.
Yeah, I'm gonna go a 2.5.
Yeah, it was so disappointing.
I have to give them the benefit of the doubt that the idiots edited out too much.
Yeah, but that still doesn't mean we got a movie worth watching. That means that if we get a director's cut, that might be
worth
the version worth watching.
So I might have liked a little bit better than you, but it's It was an amateurish attempt.
Now, I know it's based on a book, but isn't there also another movie version of it? An earlier version I thought I saw?
I don't recall.
Yeah, I think this is the second version of it.
We're going to have to delve into this a little bit more.
Yeah.
So, I may have to read the book to find out if they cover the
plot
holes.
I know it's definitely based on a book.
Yeah.
I think the author is Littell.
Sounds right.
And then I swear I saw that there's an earlier movie version of it as well. Now, maybe it's one of those things where, see, it looked like it was about a dweeby CIA analyst, and, I don't think it's just coincidence. It's a movie with the same title, and it's completely different.
It probably is a remake.
But
That's what they do.
Yeah, this was one of the more again, it depends on expectations, where you set your expectations, but this was one of the more disappointing movies of the year for me, based on what I thought I was going to get. Cast was impressive.
See, you have to lower your expectations of things.
Well, usually, I do. Usually I am worst case scenario. And then when things go better, I'm pleasantly surprised and I actually smile.
But the last
right.
couple we've watched, you've had up to here.
You guys with Sinners drives me nuts. What the hell movie did you watch that I didn't? I thought Sinners was better than The Amateur, marginally. But yeah, I was hearing, oh my God, greatest movie of the year. Already front runner for Best Picture.
There was no Best Picture.
That's
for
it. It's a vampire movie.
Yeah,
it's not even a
all
good
it
one.
It was something to fill the time.
All right. So that'll take us to, now of course we've already handled the big moment of silence for the week. But that will take us to the other moments of silence that we have. Still have some significant ones.
Yes. Malcolm Jamal Warner. Theo Huxtable from The Cosby Show. Drowned while on a family vacation.
Yeah, it's
devastating, sad news.
Terrible story. Absolutely awful. Anytime somebody loses their life in a situation like that, a tragic accident, well before their time. I mean, he had 25 years left. Easy.
Yeah, he was only 54.
Yeah. So that's just makes it that much worse.
And then Connie Francis.
Yep.
Big singer from the 60s.
One of the earliest, I guess you could call her, pop stars.
Yeah.
Yep. And then a band that had a huge gap between their two biggest hits and two all-time classic songs. Radar Love and Twilight Zone.
Yep. Golden Earring.
Yep. And I discussed this with Dave when we saw the news. Golden Earring was one of those few bands, 4-piece band, that basically stayed intact all throughout their active career.
Yeah, they took breaks, but they kept the band together.
Yep, anytime they would get back together, it was the same 4 guys. Unfortunately now, their guitar player and co-founder, George Cuymans, suffering from ALS, unfortunately finally succumbed and passed away.
Yep. Kind of a minor, but Oscar-winning lyricist, Alan Bergman, also passed away. He was in his 90s, but lots of songs, TV shows, and movies to his credit.
All right, so you know what that means.
Time to pivot.
We go from tragedy to stupidity. And unfortunately, there's going to be a little bit of tragedy in here because I'm telling you, I'm not taking any prisoners this week. I've got 4. Now, they're obvious. They've
obvious.
They've all been in the news here over the last few days.
And one even coined a new phrase.
Yeah. Yeah, and I usually like to dig a little deeper and find the ones that might have slipped under the radar, but not in this case. I got 4 obvious ones. One is in very bad taste. I will warn you right now. And a lot of people are going to be mad at me and say, how could...
Because we're politically incorrect.
I will explain why. But first we start off with, yes, the most obvious.
Damn, they got Coldplay.
Now, I'm not going to use any names. I will just let you know it involves the
CEO and HR manager.
For a company called Astronomer. Who, yes, they are such dumbasses. If you're going to screw around and have an office affair, how about you don't go to a concert where there's tens of thousands of people around, even if you've got a luxury box? How could you not think that somehow, some way, somebody's not going to see you? Let alone what happened here. Where Coldplay does this...
Kiss Cam.
Yeah, and I think they have a song.
Yeah, that they play during
the Jumbotron song or something like that. And they just happen to show them in a little bit of a tight embrace, and you could tell the minute
they saw themselves on camera, they freaked.
Yeah, I think she ran out of the luxury box, and he tucked down.
Yeah. So
he couldn't be seen. And what was it? Chris Martin said something along the lines of,
they're either having an affair or they're very shy.
Yeah.
Well, what was one of the memes running around? Coldplay hasn't had a single in how long? And they dropped 2 in one night.
Yeah. Oh my God. Did you hear about REO Speedwagon? Okay, you know they've had all their issues.
Right.
But I side with the old school members, not Kevin Cronin.
Cronin is...
But Bruce Hall, the bass player, the one who, had the back surgery, and Cronin said, "Oh, no, I don't think you're ready. Yeah, I don't think you're ready." He posted. He said, "I don't know if you guys have listened to one of our greatest hits recently, but let me refresh." Heard it from a friend who heard it from Coldplay. You've been messing around.
I saw that. That was awesome.
Great. I mean, yeah, I'm not a fan of memes in terms of serious material. I get pissed off about memes that involve serious subjects. But when it's stuff like this, everybody should go to town on this. Find every meme, make every meme you can about stuff like this, because these two are incredible dumbasses.
Oh my God.
Then, of course, we have rock legend Steve Miller, who canceled his entire 2025 tour and put out a lengthy explanation saying, "I don't feel I can," I'm paraphrasing, of course, "I don't feel I can put my crew and the fans and myself in jeopardy, in harm's way, because of flooding and extreme heat and hurricanes and tornadoes.
And massive downpours."
Yeah. So therefore, out of an abundance of caution, I am canceling my entire tour. Number one, that's idiotic to begin with. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm getting a little bit sick of this crap where...
pretentious bullshit.
Yeah. Now, it turns out there are some people out there who are speculating, posting pictures from Ticketmaster and Live Nation of the venues for some of these concerts and how many available seats there were. And it looked like in the 3 or 4 that these people posted, about 20% of the seats were sold.
Yeesh.
So,
yeah,
there might be another reason for canceling that tour other than, it's too hot! It's too hot!
Oh, the floods are coming.
And again, ancillary dumbass here, Chrissy Hind of the Pretenders backing Steve Miller up. "We had to wear ice packs because it was so hot." Oh, boo fucking who. Jesus Christ. Get over yourselves. And
at least you've got fans and everything out there. Your fans in the crowd, shoehorned together with no air movement at all.
Far worse than you are. And yes, I know Steve Miller said, "I'm doing this for the fans too." Here's an idea. Book indoors. There's plenty of indoor venues across the country where you could play. Okay? Just saying.
There you go.
All right. gentleman known as, we will identify this man, Frank Diana, arrested on the waters outside of San Diego for boating under the influence. You want to guess what he did, Dave?
What did he do? Run aground on Alcatraz?
No, there's great video of this, by the way. Again, I know we don't do video here, and I hate to reference everybody to YouTube, but no, he had this nice, beautiful big boat, obviously drunk off his ass, rammed the boat into the USS Midway.
How drunk do you have to be to run into a naval vessel?
Yeah, now of course it's decommissioned, so it's a museum now, but still,
the thing is massive.
Early estimates are he caused $100,000 in damage to the USS Midway.
Oh my God. Idiot.
So, yeah, you got to be pretty drunk and pretty stupid to ram full force into an aircraft carrier. Now, finally, this is the fourth and final one. This is the one that's going to piss some people off, because I know there's pending legal action, and I got to tiptoe around this because this involves a movie spoiler. But a 61-year-old man in New York died because he walked into an MRI room while the MRI machine was on, wearing a thick metal chain around his neck. I'm not going to get into gory details. I don't really know the gory details, but I will say this. I recently watched a movie where this exact thing happened. So,
Not a...
but I would think this would be a common rule, a common knowledge.
Everything posted.
Right.
There's warnings everywhere.
So, of course, they're suing the hospital.
No, the hospital should be suing the family for this guy's idiocy.
And then once you get around to seeing the movie, which you should be able to very soon, on, I believe it'll be on HBO Max, then we can discuss further. So there you go. Your 4 dumbass nominees. Steve Miller, the astronomer CEO and the HR officer, the 61-year-old man who walked into an MRI room with a metal chain on, and the idiot who hit the USS Midway, drunk off his ass in his boat.
Oh, God. I so want to do the Midway guy, but it's got to be the astronomy couple.
That's an all-timer.
That is an all-time.
That's got to be front runner for dumbasses of the year.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And this was a pretty strong group this week.
It was a very strong
for the
group.
weekend edition, at least. I mean, I know the sports edition we had some weak ones, but this was a strong group of 4.
This was a strong slate, but yeah, you're a fair couple wins it.
And by the way, since I'm an asshole, I do want to comment on this. She was not good looking at all. She had that short lesbian buzz cut. You know, I'm like, dude, seriously, is your wife that bad?
One never knows.
Now, in the past, well, I guess first, we should tell the kids what we're going to be doing next week. So, next week, we will review Happy Gilmore 2, of course. That's a no-brainer.
That has to be done. Album, Bush's new album. What was it? I Beat Loneliness. We'll get that. as we are getting ready to see them open for Coldplay here.
Coldplay.
Or not Coldplay. Shinedown. See, now I got fucking Coldplay on my mind. No, they will be opening for Shinedown.
That's funny.
God.
And then, of course, we will have our usual rundown of our TV shows. Don't have any of our shows wrapping up next week, so we'll just run through real
Just
quick
keep
and
going and do
let
what
you know.
we do.
Yep.
Or if we stumble upon something else.
And then we'll, of course, wrap up the week that was in terms of pop culture news and movie trailers and all that good stuff.
And we'll see what dumbasses rear their ugly heads. Because you know they're coming.
Yeah.
They're out there.
And now, normally, in the past, up until a few months ago, that would be the show. We would be done. We'd be over. And sometimes we still are going to end with the dumbasses. But every once in a while now, we're bringing back this old
Last
feature
call.
where we find something that we need a little bit more time to talk about. Doesn't quite fit anywhere else in the show. And I am ecstatic on my last call. I am blissful. I am gleeful. Finally, justice has been served. And that fucktard Stephen Colbert is going away. Finally, somebody with some common sense realized.
He's not funny.
And the reports, of course, that his show was losing $40 million a year. Yet they still want to blame politics. And of course, all the
Blame South Park. Because you can't blame Canada.
Dave's convinced that the downfall of Stephen Colbert is due to Matt Stone and Trey Parker. I'm convinced that finally some saner heads are prevailing. Now, the problem is when you do something to piss off a liberal, because they're little bitter fucking bullies, they rally around each other, their little cool kids club. So, of course, when the news was announced, now remember in the old days when the late night shows were actually funny, Dave?
Yeah, when they weren't partisan.
And they weren't political?
Now they would make fun of politicians for doing stupid things, but they didn't take political stances. They were neutral. They were about the comedy.
Well, you want an example of what the problem was with Stephen Colbert? After the announcement that, and he still got almost a full year before the show
ends. Next full season.
And he's probably going to make all of our lives miserable with the most biased, partisan crap you could ever hope to see. Or that you don't want to see. But who are some of his guests he had on the shows following his announcement? Let's see. Did he have on? I don't know. Let's look back at the old days. Who would you would had on, like Don Rickles?
Shane Gillis talking about hosting the ESPYs?
No.
Wouldn't you have somebody talking about their new movie?
No, we had Adam Schiff. We had Anderson Cooper. And then, of course, all the other late-night hosts showed up in solidarity to rally around
Myers, Kimmel.
Yeah. And then...
I want to know what the hell happened to Jimmy Kimmel. When he used to be funny, he used to be a normal person when he was on The Man Show with Adam Carolla.
Yeah. Boy, those two went in vastly different directions, didn't they? But here's the other thing I want to bring up here, as I gleefully, blissfully await the end of Stephen Colbert's career. You guys can judge us if you want. I'm not afraid of it. Yes, we curse. Yes, we swear. Yes, we sometimes do potty humor, and I'm fine with it. I love it. I love every second of it. But here's the thing. We're podcasters doing this for fun. You know, if we ever broke big, that'd be wonderful and great. But we do this as an excuse to rant, to get anger off of our chest frustration with sports, frustration with the idiots in Hollywood. Now, if we were to ever become more popular, maybe we would refine things a little bit.
Maybe the language would be toned down.
These guys, all these hosts, getting tens of millions of dollars a year. And what did Stephen Colbert say? And what did Jimmy Kimmel say? And Jon Stewart say? All pretty much had the same comment on their shows. Fuck you, Trump. Real mature. Real mature, well thought out, brilliant. And I hope the rumors are true that Jon Stewart's the next one to go. The so-called smartest man in the world. I still want him in Thunderdome, by the way. I'll take any of them. Give me Colbert, give me Kimmel, give me Stewart, any of them in Thunderdome. I'll take them on. I don't care. I hate them. The Plane of Doom is too good for them. Oh, I hate them. So once again, please forgive me in last call for bragging a little bit about the potential downfall of late night television because all the left-wing fucktards ruined it years ago. That's going to do it for Sports Frenzy 2.0, the weekend edition. That's your Uncle Dave, the Conquistador Dave Height.
That's your Uncle Kev, the Maestro Kevin Crane.
And of course, we've already told you what we're doing next week, so when we see you again in 7 days, well, we know you'll be hungover again, and we'll have to nurse you through it.
That's what we do. That's what we're here for.
And of course, feel free to drop by early Thursday for the sports edition, where we do the exact same stuff except with sports.
Easy.
Yeah, it's not that complicated. Even a fucking idiot like Jon Stewart or Stephen Colbert could figure it out.
Maybe.
Yeah. But until we talk again, be safe, hug your kids, hug your mistress up in a luxury at a Coldplay concert. We kid because we care.
That's right.
And because if these people didn't do this dumb shit, we'd be out of business.
Exactly. And remember, Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself.
All right, kids, until we talk to you again, we love you. Take care. Say goodnight to the kids, Dave.
Good night to the kids, Dave.